phone call. So you pull over to the side, and it's your dad. And so he's in tears, and you're wondering what's going on because you know that he has a really bad heart condition, so you're worried. Well, he's been waiting for months for a heart transplant, and he tells you that the opportunity is there and that there's a match. So you tear up in joy, wondering, could this really be? Could my dad really have a second chance at life? Well, what if I tell you that you could be the one to bring that kind of joy to somebody else's life? Today I would like to discuss with you the benefits of being an organ donor. I will briefly discuss the process of how it works. I'll give testimonies of people that have had a transplant in their life or people that have known someone that was a donor. And I will answer myths of organ donation. So first, I found the process according to organdonor.com, and what they say is you must be registered. You can do this by getting your driver's license or renewing it. They give you the option of being an organ donor. If you aren't an organ donor, however, so let's say you are declared brain dead, your family has the option of saying if they want you to be an organ donor or not. Most victims, however, of being an organ donor are usually the people that have had severe head trauma, aneurysms, or stroke. Once you're declared brain dead, that's when they go in and they do all these evaluations, usually done by neurologists or neurosurgeons, to see if you qualify to be that. The difference, which confuses many people, is that they're scared that you're not going to fully be dead and you're just going to be in a coma. But the doctors know the difference between being brain dead and being in a coma, and usually that means that you have a lack of electrical activity. The blood flow doesn't go to your brain anymore, and you can't survive with, your body can't survive anymore, so you can't breathe on your own. I found that through organdonor.com as well. So they do a certain amount of tests, and one of them is just a regular evaluation, like when you go to the doctor, they do physicals on you. They check your blood pressure, they check all kinds of things that normally would happen if you're in a coma. And they also do a blood flow test, which is where they check to see if your blood is flowing throughout your body. And if you are declared brain dead, then the ODO, which is the organ donor organization, takes over, and then they match you according to blood type with a person that has been on the waiting list. So then, next I would like to tell a few stories of people that have had this in their life. And the first one is Fred Musto, which is a guy who needed a heart transplant. And he wrote this himself on donorrecovery.com. And he said that he was waiting for 10 months on the waiting list, and he kind of gave up hope because he had a really severe problem. He didn't say what it was, he just said that he had lost hope. And so on April 16, 2014, he got a call that there was a match for him. But since he was on the waiting list for so long, he knew that there's matches all the time that match with your blood type, but that doesn't mean that you're actually going to get it. So he didn't want to get his hopes up, but he actually was a perfect match. So then they went through with the surgery, and he quoted this himself. He said, it felt like a miracle, like I was in a dream. The surgery was successful. It's been over 5 months since the surgery, and I feel so lucky and blessed to be home with my wife and looking out at my yard. A miracle had happened. I received the greatest gift of all. So, being able to give somebody the gift of an organ is such a blessing to their life, and many people are very conservative with giving their organs just because they feel like it's mine, like I don't know where it's going to end up. But I feel that being able to give someone life once you pretty much are dead is such a blessing. And to add to that, there's a story of Katie Milano, who was pronounced brain dead after being in a severe car crash. She, however, wasn't an organ donor. She had discussed it with her parents, unfortunately, before she died, because her friends were in a car crash and they didn't have a match, so they ended up dying. So she really wanted to be one. She just never came across to registering, I mean. So her mom gave the okay, and then the doctors went in and they did the process. So with that, I go back to what I found on organdonor.com. If your parents do give the okay to well, they have a certain amount of time, because your kidneys can last up to 30 hours or less after you're declared being brain dead. Your pancreas and liver can last less than 12 hours, and your heart and lungs only last up to 6 hours. So if it does come to that and you didn't get to register as an organ donor, your family does have quite some time to make the decision, so it doesn't have to be rushed. So the doctors emphasize on you making it known that you do want to be one, even if you don't get across to registering. So back to Katie. So once they got the okay from her mom, she was able to save 3 lives just with her organs alone. So one of her livers went to a man in New York. One kidney went to a 13-year-old girl, and her other kidney and pancreas went to a guy named Gregory Crace, who wrote the article on donorrecovery.com. And he got the chance to meet her family after 5 years of her death, and he couldn't be more thankful to them for making that decision, because they saved his life. And his family is so thankful as well. They got to meet her. And her family, even though they did go through a loss, they felt so honored to have their daughter be remembered as a hero. Like, even though she didn't do much in her life, she got to save somebody else's life through her death. So then with that, I would like to discuss a few myths of why people don't register as organ donors and the truth about them. So many people believe, like I said before, that it's possible for your organs just to be ripped out of you and you not really be dead. Well, that's not true. Like I said before, they do many tests to make sure that you actually are dead, and they don't pull your organs out right away. The clinical test takes at least 30 minutes, and then they do the blood flow test, and then after that, they check to see you shouldn't be breathing on your own, so they take you off life support. Another myth is that the staff, if they see that, so you go into the emergency room and they see that you're an organ donor, they won't really try to save you. Well, that's also not true, because they don't even see your records until you are declared brain dead. The doctor's job is to save you, and you only. They don't worry about your organs being donated after. Another one is it's against my religion, and that's also not true. Being an organ donor consists with many religions, such as the Catholic religion, Islam religion, a few branches of Judaism, and Protestant religions. I got this from donatealife.org, and I also found that every 10 minutes someone is added to the list. So that's every 10 minutes a day. So that's thousands of people that need an organ or need someone to save their lives. And on average, 21 people a day die waiting for a transplant because of the lack of people that are willing to donate or register to donate. So, in conclusion, I really hope that you guys learned that the process of organ donation isn't as scary as many people think. And I hope that the testimonies that I gave of the 2 people that have had it in their lives have influenced you into going into being an organ donor. And I hope that that I kind of made you feel a little bit more secure on the facts about being an organ donor. And I just really wish that you guys, if not do it, consider being an organ donor, because many people need this in their life, and they really need another chance. And I feel like if it comes down to it, like, you're pretty much brain dead. So it would be such a blessing in somebody's life to have another chance at life, and you can be the hero that saves their life. Thank you.
Flattery, what did you think?
For me, the topic was interesting, and the introduction was effective, but I think her voice was too low. And I like the hand gestures and the eye contact was done well. And I like also the transition. It was well organized. And the factual example made it more clear and more important for me. And she ended up in a good way, but two things to be improved is her voice and the preview of the main points were not clear. But she did a great job.
All right. I'd agree with most of those kinds of things. I think you need to project your voice a little bit more. We've just got this stupid fan going here, and that's the big issue. So sometimes you have to kind of compensate in those situations. So your delivery stuff, I think that's a little bit problematic. When it comes to content, the only thing, I liked a lot of what you had in the speech. I think you needed to have a little bit more material on the need for organ donors, the shortage of organs, that sort of thing, and you need to have that earlier in the speech, because it really feels like you start with the solution before we even know what the problem is. You know, so you're telling us, here's the process of being an organ donor and all those kinds of things. I said, well, I know you're advocating this, but why? And the why seems to be coming after the how. Pardon me, which is a little awkward. The emotional content, I think, is helped out by the story about Katie, the girl who did the whose family donated, and you've got a heartfelt note from one of those people in the story about how 5 years later when he meets the family and how they felt about it. If you had some direct quotes from the family, I think that would make it even more effective instead of just kind of summarizing. So sorry.